going live, mate. We're going live.
Yeah, go on, mate. Go on. No worries. All right.
We'll do it after. Oh.
It's time to go!
Good evening and welcome to Claude and the Banstas for this Liverpool versus Arsenal, not one games, but 2 game preview. We're playing Liverpool, twice in 3 days, I think it is. And we're going to do the preview and have a great chat with our great friend who we haven't seen. It's been a while, Craig. Craig from Anfield Agenda. Welcome, mate. Hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm good. Always lovely to see you, gents, and always lovely to catch up. Yeah, it's been a minute, hasn't it? It's been a minute since we've had a chat, but again, always lovely to see you guys.
Excellent, excellent. Also with me, obviously, I've got my bro from another Mo, and that's the beautiful Diesel. How you doing, young man?
Yeah, all good. So all good. Listen, always a pleasure when we got Craig on. So yeah, I'm keep checking the watch. Is it time? Yeah, is it time? I mean, listen, apologies that we're late. I've seen a few comments in the chat. I had to do my hair, so blame that on me. That's my fault. I was gonna say Craig had to do his, but I thought no, I've got to. I'll take the punishment for us all. So yeah, my fault. Sorry.
We could have called this one the 3 baldies and 1 with hair, couldn't we, eh?
You know what I mean?
I don't know about the wet hair bit, Terry. Now, come on, you're on the edge there, buddy. Let's be honest. You'll be joining me in diesel soon.
Craig,
quick one, boys. How is it? We can't get football crowds in yet. I've just seen a photo of Trafalgar Square where there's a massive crowd down there. So is Boris about to hand the fines out there down there or not?
Well, it's not actually 10 o'clock yet, is it? But there you go. Listen, the rules are...
The 6th rule has definitely been broken down there.
Exactly, mate. I know what you're saying. It is a joke, but at the end of the day, as long as we stay safe, these idiots, you know what I mean? They're just idiots, aren't they? Let's be honest. What more can you say about it? You can't say anything. So, first of all, Craig, I just want to say, sending our wishes to Connor. I know he's been a bit unwell lately. I just want to, if he's watching, just want to say, I hope you get well soon, mate. And I know you've been trooping through. Craig's been telling us you've been getting the content out there and you're not give up. So well done, mate, for getting through it.
Yeah, definitely. Also, while we're at it, I heard our friend from West Ham Fan TV, Nicky, is not been very well as well.
Nicky Hawkins, yeah.
We'll wish him well.
Jump in and add another one. Jack Gill, one of the guys that does stuff for Red Men TV, lovely young lad. He got COVID as well, but thankfully I think he's on the other side now. So lots of love and best wishes to Jack as well.
Yeah.
Well, but sending our wishes out to everyone that's dealing with something at the moment, and hopefully it ain't too bad. So, right, let's get into it, boys. Liverpool versus Arsenal. First of all, on Monday night in the Premier League. Let's start with that game first. Craig, what's your thoughts on it, mate?
Yeah, I did my preview on this. I think it's actually going out in about 45 minutes on our channel. It's I said to you guys before we started, I'm more nervous about this game than I was about going to Stamford Bridge, because I've got to give Mikel Arteta credit. He's starting to give you guys an identity. They're starting to see some belief in there. Now, we have an amazing record, obviously, at Anfield. 2 years unbeaten in the Premier League. And if I'm being really blunt, I don't see that changing. But then again, you shocked us in the Community Shield with a weak inside. So I like to give credit where it's due. You guys certainly heading in the right direction. I'm intrigued to see if you can get aouar. I've been keeping an eye on that one. But look, credit where it's due. I'm looking forward to the game. Bit of a weird one with the kickoff time, wasn't it? It was 8:15, then it was 8, then it was 8:15. Now it's back to 8 o'clock again. I don't know, but as long as the game goes ahead, everybody's safe. That's the main thing. It should be a cracking game.
That's because of the pubs. That's why they have to put it back to 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, it would have been a bit weird, wouldn't it? I mean, how would you go up to a group of lads and all that in a pub and say, "Sorry, lads, you've got to get out. You're not allowed to watch the last 15 minutes of the game." That wouldn't have gone down well, would it?
When aubameyang's through on goal as well.
It gives me nightmares. I'm not going to lie. I've said it in the preview as well. I mean, I usually don't give anybody a goal coming to Anfield, but I said Aubameyang will get a chance, and if he gets a chance, he usually sticks to the top bins. He is quality.
I just want to obviously get your take on it because, as you know, I mean, we're quite divided on this show with the Mikel Arteta situation. What is your actual view on Mikel Arteta, Craig, and how do you see Arsenal carrying on with him?
To be honest, when he came in, I was a bit dubious. Like everybody, he had no real track record. Yes, he worked under Guardiola and great person to learn off, but he's certainly doing a better job than the likes of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in my humble opinion. I can see tactically how astute he is. He outdid Pep Guardiola in the FA Cup. That doesn't happen easily. I've got to give him credit, honestly. I mean, it's not for me to say if he's the right man for Arsenal or not, but from an outsider's position, I certainly think he is fighting tooth and nail for your club to try and get you guys back up into the Champions League positions because he genuinely does look like a student of the game. You get this kind of feeling when you look at people, and Arteta to me does strike me as somebody who lives, breathes, sleeps football and is obsessed with the job that he's doing. So I think he's doing a good job, to be fair. I never understood the Unai Emery thing. To me, he just I don't know, he's one of those weird managers. I never understood the mass appeal of him. He did a fantastic job at Sevilla, but Thomas Tuchel is another one. I'm not a massive Thomas Tuchel fan either. I think he's, I won't say a fraud, but I think sometimes they've just gotten into cushy little jobs that have suited them at the time. It took guts from Arteta to take the job at Arsenal, because if he failed, you know, he might have to drop down to the division. So I think credit where it's due, lads. It's very early in the season, but, you know, he got you guys two trophies, really, I suppose. We include the Community Shield and
no, don't count that. I don't count Community Shield. I don't count it. Sorry, my friend. I don't count that. I mean, that's
all right. It's to their own, buddy. It's no problem.
That's just.
I mean, if we want to wipe that off the record, I'm happy to say the game didn't happen.
Really, the game was a draw if you think about it, because it was a penalty shootout. We won it on a penalty. So really, it wasn't. We didn't actually beat you on the 90 minutes, did we? So
El Nenny's had a bit of a revival, hasn't he, under Arteta?
Who's that? Sorry,
it's the El Nenny.
Oh God!
Yeah. He's all right, but I mean, you know, he should never be in the squad anyway. In my eyes, you know what I mean? He's we should be aiming a lot higher in caliber players than El Nini. I mean, he come under Wenger, didn't he, boys? Wenger bought him, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I mean, you know,
he seems to be completely froze now.
£5 million we got for him. Won't get that back. Anyway. Trust the process. Was it Arsenal fans 2020? As Jake is a Liverpool fan.
So, how do you think Klopp will go about playing? Obviously at Anfield. Look, I mean, the thing is, we've not beat you since 2012 at Anfield, Craig. But if you look at recent records, you know, obviously we beat you in the last two. Maybe a draw and a penalty shootout, but we've got the result in the last two. How do you think Klopp's going to go about this and at Anfield and play against Arsenal and Arteta?
As strongly as possible, I think we'll set up. I mean, the game on Thursday, it'll be interesting to see how strong both managers go. But for this one, I mean, if I did a preview, I picked my 11. I think Alisson, Trent, I think Fabinho will play alongside Virgil van Dijk at centre-back, to be honest with you. I think we'll see, obviously, Robbo at left-back. Hendo's not available, so my guess was Thiago, Gini and Yaldum. And who else did I put on my midfield trio? For Naby Keita and then the front three. A lot of Liverpool fans giving a bit of I won't say abuse, but probably deserved critique of Bobby Firmino and his lack of goal scoring, particularly at home. I think Klopp will stick with him. I don't think Diogo Jota is ready just yet, although Minamino is a player who I think is going to have a big impact for us this season. Klopp has nothing but respect for Arteta. You can see that when he speaks. He knows Arteta is a student of the game as well. So yeah, I'm expecting a difficult game, and one with a few goals in it, I think.
Yeah, no, I do agree. What's your view on it, Claude?
Okay. the way we're playing at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised. I think we could get a draw there. I think we could get a draw. Mind you, having said that, I thought Liverpool against Chelsea were very comfortable in the first half. I think everyone said Chelsea control. I thought they actually controlled the first half, even when they had the 11 against 11. And then the second half, as soon as that your new guy come on, second half, Thiago, he bossed it, didn't he? He absolutely bossed it, didn't he? Absolutely. The only worry I've got with us is the midfield. I think they could overpower us in midfield. They could have too much for us in midfield. But I've got a feeling we'll go there. We'll try and park the bus, and hopefully we'll get some sort of result there. But I don't think if we're going to win, we won't win playing toe to toe. That's for sure. I think we'll have to be very, very, very cautious. Hit them on the break. I think it'll be the one ball over the top on the break, and that'll be it. And probably that's where we might score a goal. And then hopefully, I'm hoping. It all depends as well as if Tierney's playing as well. I think that's a big thing on Monday if he's playing, because if it's Kolasinac, I think we could be in a bit of trouble. But I think I'm optimistic that we can get something, but we're going to have to really defend really, really well and just get one on the break or something. But if we go toe to toe, we'll just get slaughtered.
Okay, Diesel.
We did our predictions the other day, didn't we? And there was a part of me that was kind of, to echo what Claude said, I was kind of leaning towards a draw. But then when I really look at it, if I'm totally honest, I think we're going to lose 2-1. I don't think we're going to get slapped. Or at least I hope not. I've just got a feeling that we're. I think we'll give a decent account of ourselves. In previous years, we've always wrote this game off. It's the one game we think, look, we're going to get slapped. We know what's going to happen. Let's just get it out of the way and then we move on. I don't really feel that way this time round. So I do think they're going to beat us. Liverpool. It's funny because I keep saying, Craig, there's so many people nowadays who judge teams after one game. You played Leeds and straight away everyone's, Liverpool, no, they're done, they're finished. Look at Leeds. Leeds gave them a game. And I don't judge it like that. It's one game, and I think once Liverpool find their feet and find their rhythm, you've bought a couple of players now, kind of like buses. I keep saying, you've been waiting for a player and all of a sudden two come more or less at the same time. What I've always said as well, and what I truly do believe about any club, is it's not just the fans who get a lift when new players come into the club. It's the players as well. It's the squad. When you get one or two, especially when they're top class players, when they join the club, there is that instant lift in the dressing room, and I think obviously you guys are going to benefit massively from that. With regards to the game on Monday, I do think unfortunately we'll lose 2-1. I think the midfield battle. If we lose the midfield battle, we lose the game. It's as simple as that. Your midfield, in fact, your team are levels above us at the moment, in my opinion. But I think the game's going to be won by that midfield battle, and we're just not going to win that. So, yeah, if anything better than that, if it's a draw, if you offered me a draw right now, I'd bite your hand off. But, yeah, unfortunately, I think we'll lose. Got to be honest.
I've got a couple of super chats here. Alexandre, thanks very much, mate. He said, "What's with the dislikes for El Nini? Don't get it." Look, at the end of the day, for me, like I just said,
there's no dislikes. He's just, I think he's just an average player. Yeah. So when you're up in this class and you've got to go up that level,
yeah,
he's just not that good. He's not good enough. That's all there is to it. It's not. There's no dislike or no hate. It's just that. He's not at that level.
Every time he comes in, Claude, he does do a good job, doesn't he?
I don't see Craig asking if he's available for his team.
Craig asked us off camera, Claude.
So that's that, Alexander. And Zane, thank you very much for your contribution, mate. He said Claude, Uber trick incoming. Gabriel will handle their defence, no problem. Will handle the defence, no problem.
It's very optimistic, Zane. Thank you for the chat, but I'm not sure about that hat trick. If he gets one, I'll be happy. And we end up getting something out of the game, but hat trick, I think that's a bit optimistic.
Look, for me, I'm going to, like you said earlier on, Craig.
Craig, I'm going to ask Craig before. Sorry, Terry. Craig, there's a lot of people saying that Van Dijk is not himself at the moment. He's not the player he was last season. How do you see Van Dijk? You've been watching him a couple of games. Do you think he's a bit? Has he gone off the boil a bit?
He made his mistake. That's well documented. He had a couple of options. He tried a little flick over, didn't work out. But no, I'm going to defend Van Dijk to the last. I mean, even a Van Dijk not at 100% is still a world-class defender for me. I think it's important that we get a partnership back there so Van Dijk knows who he's going to be working with. We've a bit unlucky with the likes of Matt, who picks up a lot of injuries. Gomez is just coming back from another. If we can get a steady partnership, I think he's okay. I think some people feel, Terry and Diesel, it's Van Dijk's one of those players to me that just reads the game so well. He doesn't have to make sliding tackles. He's just in the right place. And maybe he's not at his absolute best, but he's had a lot of football to play. It's been a short period. And he's still 10 times the defender Harry Maguire will ever be, in my opinion. I mean, look, I can understand people looking from the outside to try and find little chinks in our armour. I do understand it. I'd be doing the same. But what I think is going to help us the most this season is continuity. A lot of people talk about new signings, and that is great. And you're right, it does give a boost. But we've got the same manager. We have the same squad for the last few years, and they all know their roles and their jobs. And I think that's really important. And I think that Mourinho spoke before about one of his greatest accomplishments was being able to keep that Porto side together that won the league and the Champions League there, because adding a couple more to that each season, we'd seen it when you guys had Wenger, when United had Sir Alex Ferguson. You just need that continuity. And Van Dijk and Alisson have been the signings that I think really pushed us through. So I'll never say a bad word about the big man. Never.
Evening, Connor.
Evening, Connor.
Stephen had a had a chat about he raised how much money did they raise?
631. Hang on, I'm just going to try and bring that back up.
Just while you find that, Diesel, I'm just going to put in the super chat for Zane. He's put, Diesel, we need to go all out and not play the underdog. We need the eye of the tiger like when Rocky boxed Mr. T.
Please do come and open up and go toe to toe. Please do.
I don't think he will, Craig. I was just about to say, look, at the end of the day, under the fraud manager that we used to have, and I don't even want to say his name. I mean, we used to come to you, and he would set us up and go out not to lose the game. So I mean, I hated it. I hated.
But isn't that the same as what Arteta's going to do?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
For years, right? For years, we all might. The reason for the last few years of Wenger's reign, the reason why we were getting beat is because he just wanted to go toe to toe, and everyone was just picking us off. Now we've developed, and what you've got to say with Arteta, he's developed a style where it's very difficult to break us down. But
he's developed a style to make it hard to break us down with the players that he's got at the moment to his Arsenal.
He's still doing it. What I'm trying to say is the reason we're all praising him is because of that style. So you can't be having a go at Emery for doing the same thing.
Emery went out not to lose. There's a difference. If you listen to what I'm saying, he went out not to lose.
Well, look at the way Arteta plays. It's the same thing. Well, lose the game.
Like I was saying when we had this conversation the other day, when we went to Liverpool under that fraud, none of us, we all agreed the other day, was confident in going into that game. Like Diesel just said, we knew we was going to get slapped. Now going into this game on Monday night, I don't feel like that. I feel like we're going to put up a challenge.
I'm not attacking the style. I'm not attacking it. But what you can't be saying for one is I'm not attacking it, because at the end of the day, if it wins us games, it doesn't matter how you do it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I've said that.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, if there's what certain styles everyone goes on, it's got to be great football. No, it doesn't have to be. And even Liverpool, I think, if Craig could correct me if I'm wrong, Craig, there's games where you've had to grind out last season, isn't it, to get.
That's what won us the title. Those horrible 1-goal wins. It's about getting, like, the Leeds game at the start of the season. It's just about getting the points on the board. That's all I'd be looking for. Yeah, and the trouble with Wenger was every game he thought, no, we'll just play our game. He wasn't thinking about the opposition or what they could do to us. No, just throw yourselves forward and just express yourself. It doesn't work. Sometimes you've got to be tactical in games. That's why we've never done anything in Europe. Massive love to Stephen, by the way. I seen the super or the comment there a few minutes ago. £631 was it that he raised?
Well done, Stephen. Yeah, and next week, because it's the last week of the thing, did say we'd put his link in, the charity link in our thing, in our shows next week. Is that okay? Yeah, because
that's not a problem. If
we can get that a bit further up there.
If you do it tonight, if you put a link in, we'll shout out again tonight. It's not a problem, mate.
Yeah,
not a problem. All I'm saying is that, you know, I'm a lot more confident under Arteta than I've ever been. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that we're going to come out and absolutely annihilate you, because that's not going to happen at the moment, especially with the team that we've got. You know what I mean? But you know, we've had conversations before, Craig. You know, when Klopp come, it took him 5 years to get rid of the dross, if you know what I mean, some of them players that was in your side, to create something with the philosophy that he wanted. And look what's happened to your team now. And that's what I can see happening under Arteta.
You've got to remember, though, Emery and Arteta's got better players as well now than what Emery had as well. Let's not forget that.
One thing from the outside that I always looked at was the board.
It did not have Lichtsteiner. All these crap players that we had last season weren't, you know what I'm saying? Players like Lichtsteiner didn't have Arteta, weren't playing with Arteta, you know what I'm saying? So let's look at it that way as well, you know. So what's this? Everyone, let's. Yeah, well, it's still we'll get there. Well, one day we'll get there. No hurry.
Yeah, go on, Quake. What was you going to say just before that, mate?
Yeah, from the outside, what I always said, and I think if you go back and watch the last stream we did together, I said it's important that the board support Arteta in what he's looking to do, because there's no denying there's a rebuilding job there, and he looks like he's trying to do it in the right way. The players that you're being linked with, Thomas Partey, this has been a long link for you guys to him. Aouar, they're the type of players I'm sure that are getting Arsenal fans excited and the type of signings that they want to see. So I always thought it was down to how much the board believed and supported in him. I didn't get that feeling when they had Unai Emery that they were going to back him that much.
Yeah, but also, Emery did get overruled on a lot of signings. I don't know whether it was because of his English. I don't know what it was, but he got a lot of his signings that he put forward. He got overruled, and he was given other players. So, you know, we've got to look at that as well.
I think it's a bit premature, if I'm honest, to say that, because, you know, Emery didn't get. I'll stand by that decision. It's not the amount of money. This is what we were saying, Craig, on our stream the other day. Can you say a manager's backed if a manager's had money to spend, but he's not been allowed to get the players he wants? For me, that's not what I would call backing, right? The money's irrelevant. If your board, FSG or whoever they are, get the players in that Klopp doesn't want, he didn't want them players, but they spent a lot of money in getting them players in. For me, Klopp's not been backed because he's not been given what he's asked for, right? It's as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? What you said there about us being linked to Partey and aouar, until we've got them, because I'm under no doubt that Arteta wants those two players, right? I'm under no doubt. But until we've got them, I'm still going to sit here and say he's not being backed. At the moment, he's not being backed. He's not getting what he wants. We've got Cedric, that right back. I don't think he was an Arteta signing, if I'm honest. Pablo Mari, I've got my doubts whether Arteta wanted him. You know, these are the sort of players that I look at Arteta like the manager. that he is, and I'm just a bit miffed, a bit confused. Are these players that you wanted? You know, so I don't know. I don't know. It's time will tell. But listen, there's 10 days left, I believe. Yeah, we've left it 8 weeks. That's not back in.
Alexandre Gomez there.
Yeah, he said until AFC gets a new owner, highly unlikely. She's going nowhere, unfortunately. She's going nowhere. Who's she? She's going nowhere, unfortunately. Arsenal to Kroenke is an investment, primarily concentrating on the bottom line, folks.
Well, there is that as well.
We'll soon see if he gets back.
See if these players are get over the line in the next week or so. If we get them 2 players, then I think we look very good. I think we can even put a good challenge in the top 4, even go even further. Because if we get these 2 players, what they will add to the squad is incredible. One is very creative, a top player. The other one is good defensive midfield player. Plus, he can go forward and create stuff as well. So it's all looking good.
Yeah, I mean,
if we get those players in.
How do you think Liverpool's done in the transfer window so far, Craig?
I'm not going to lie, I'm over the moon. Ideally, I'd like us to bring in a centre-back, but I've got a feeling I think the midfield situation links to our centre-back situation. It looked like Gini Wijnaldum might be moving on. The Barcelona links were there. So we were all thinking maybe Thiago comes in, Gini Wijnaldum moves on, that frees up a midfield space. But I think the way Klopp's looking at it is we've got a couple of really good young centre-backs coming through, Billy Cometio, Reece Williams, Sepp van den Berg. So I think Klopp's looked at it and thought, you know what, with the midfielders, centre midfielders that we have, we can afford to use Fabinho as a centre-back if needs be. I know people will try and make comparisons maybe to the Fernandinho situation that Guardiola tried, but I think we're a bit more stacked in our centre of midfield, and I think Fabinho will do a very good job at centre-back. So getting in Thiago, this is going to sound really strange because of the price tag, but it's one of the biggest signings that Liverpool have made in my time supporting the club. To go out and get a player right in the peak of his career, after winning a Champions League, that's won everything in the game, and just for him to even want to make that move to Liverpool, that's a statement for me about where we are right now. I don't take it for granted. I'm very appreciative. I've been somebody who thinks our owners have done extraordinarily well for the way that we've gone about business. Now, if they've made mistakes, and we can go through those, no problem. And I'm not somebody who's, very pro the owners, but I remember Roy Hodgson's era at Liverpool, and now I look at where we are now, and the net spend and the way we've gone about our business has been phenomenal. Diogo Jota, I think that fee's inflated because I think the other part of that deal was inflated. I think the money we got for Keane Hoover to go there, it can go up to around £13.5 million, I believe. We paid 90 grand for that young man. So I think that might have been a bit inflated, but all in all, I mean, the boxes have been ticked for the positions that I think we need to strengthen. Left back with Costa Simicas looks like a very good piece of business. Obviously, Norwich were just playing hardball over Jamal Lewis. I feel really sorry for him. I think he cut his contract or his holiday short to try and get that deal done. He's got to move eventually to Newcastle, but happy, buddy. That's all I can say. I suppose I can best sum it up by going. Liverpool fans will know what that means.
I just want to update everyone for the score. Burnley, Southampton. Southampton have just scored 5 minutes in. Danny Ings.
Of course it was Danny Ings. Good man, Danny.
Of course it was. Ex-Liverpool player. How did you think of him?
So happy for him, man. Happy for Danny Ings.
The Chelsea-West Brom game was the first draw of the Premier League season. This season.
Wow, good stat, that. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm delighted for Danny Ings. Love the guy. I mean, I've yet to see a Liverpool fan that doesn't want him to do well. Just didn't work out because of injuries and stuff, but he's a good lad. It's lovely to see him going and doing well with Southampton, and I hope he continues to bang them in and stay injury-free. Nothing but love for Danny Ings.
All right, just quickly, let's get your view on Man United.
the manager's not cut out for the job, but I do agree with what Mark says a lot of the time as well. Like I said about you guys, the board needs to step up and get their finger out. I don't know what the hell is going on there. You're talking about a club that generates, alongside Real Madrid, ridiculous amounts of money. And for them to be as shambolic in the transfer market as they have been is crazy. And I can understand United fans' frustration. They got a gem in Bruno Fernandes, who's doing really well for them. Aaron Wan-Bissaka was a decent piece of business, good right back. They've got an abundance of decent keepers, to be fair, whether you want to go David De Gea or Henderson. Yeah, it's an interesting situation. I think if they don't get a bit of business done, they're going to be struggling, I think, for the top four. And I don't say that out of hatred for United. I'm genuinely being honest, because the United I've seen so far this season, that doesn't look like a team that's on the up. But, you know, I'm not a United fan. It's weird because they've got some good players. I just don't know what hasn't clicked yet there. I've always said they need a proper director of football in there who can get the transfers over the line. If I was a United fan, the thing that would bug me the most is the amount of money that's being taken out of the club to pay back the leveraged way the club was bought. That would do my head in. Our owners didn't leverage the club to buy it. They've never taken 1 cent that I'm aware of out of Liverpool. But they'll get a huge payday down the line when they sell for 2 billion or 1.5 billion. You know, that's where they'll get their payoff, and I'm sound with that. But, you know, if I'm a United fan, I've got to be honest, the way their board is acting, I understand the anger. I get it. It's brilliant to watch, by the way. I'm loving every second of it. Don't get me wrong.
I couldn't believe what I was watching today, that game, and it proves the point. I want this VAR. This VAR never existed. I just don't understand all these decisions that happen. The whistle bloody goes, the final whistle goes, and then suddenly we have to. He's got a penalty. It goes back. So I thought if you go off the pitch, right, the final whistle goes. You can't. That's it. The game's over.
The rule. I looked into this earlier on. The rule is that until the referee tells the players to leave the pitch and the referees leave the pitch, they can be brought back. That is the rule. I didn't see the game. I didn't even watch it, so I haven't seen the incident. I just remember an even weirder one in Germany. You guys might remember it. At halftime, the players were in the dressing room and they were brought back out for a penalty. Now that I thought was ludicrous, but I think by the letter of the law today, I think that the law was broken. Whatever we think about the decision, I'm the first one to criticise referees, by the way. But yeah, I think that was done by the letter of the law.
Yeah, I got that right. But I mean, they also got another one wrong in that game. It's scary. It's
the handball rule, gents, is riderriculous.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
That's a joke now, because I saw one in the was it the Palace Everton game? He's got no chance of getting out of the way of that. I mean, it's ridiculous. Well, because now it's not deliberate. I thought it had to be deliberate. It's not deliberate anymore. If it hits your hand, it hits your hand, doesn't it? And now you've got all this rubbish now. If it hits you on a certain part of the arm, it's not handball.
But ain't that armball? Surely they should change that to armball instead of handball. Do you know what I mean? I just don't.
There's been a few. Lindelof was a little bit hard done by. A lot of people felt that the penalty we got against Leeds should never have been a penalty. As Claude said, you can talk about a few other bits. But interestingly, did you see Chelsea's equaliser today? Last season, that would have been ruled out because Havertz hit his arm in the build-up. Now, it wasn't directly the pass before the goal, so this season it was changed. But yeah, how can the players or managers set up their defence when they basically have to play with the two arms tied behind their back?
Yeah. I don't understand.
I'll tell you one thing, though, one positive of it, if there is one to be taken, I think, is that at least the referees are having a look themselves. At least they're going over to the monitors. That's one thing I'm happier about. I want the man in the middle making the decisions. You know what I mean?
We've got a super chat here from NBA Gaming. Claude, look at United. They've got Bruno because the ball got afraid after they tapped Woodward's ass incident. We must do the same to V Knight so they take us serious. No, not at all.
That's nothing to do with that. I can't endorse anything like that at all on this show.
Look at United at the minute. You know, they bought these two two great players in Fernando and Van der Beek. And look at, really, in my eyes, I think United need to go out and get a lot of defenders. I think their defence is absolute rubbish, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the it's not so much.
They're in the same boat as us, Tel. Which is
Lindelof very good. And yeah, you're right. I think he's.
I mean, look, they spent 85 million on Maguire. I mean, come on. I mean, since he's left Leicester, Craig, as soon as I said that, I see you smile. £85 million on Maguire. And what has he done? Let's be honest. What has he done since he's gone there?
Yeah. 5-10 million more than Van Dijk. Like, it's crazy, but it's because it's the English thing. But listen, Man United will always have to pay a premium. Man United are that club. To any other club, it would probably have been 60 million. Man United, if they come calling, any club will chuck on an extra 10-15 million because they know that Man U will pay it.
I think it's a little bit more than that, Diesel. I think at the time, like someone just said, I mean, Man United, their board was under a lot of pressure. Ron Lee, these people, these fans went to his house. That's totally disgusting in my eyes. Firing, fireworks at 11 o'clock at night when they've got children and all things like that. And I mean, that's totally disgusting. But they was under a lot of pressure. And I think that's why they've gone out and just paid the money what they needed to try and get a player at the time that was, playing really well with Maguire at Leicester. Let's be honest. But that was players around him.
But that's not just that deal, Tel. Over the years, Man United have always paid a premium. That's just an example because they are the biggest club in the land, didn't they? The issue I've got is that we're in the same, but there's a lot of similarities between Man United and us with regards to the board, with regards to, if you look at a lot of the Man United fan base, they're crying out for players. Sancho, great player. Yeah, we'd love to have him, but it's more of a want than a need. What we need is centre halves. What we need is, we need defenders. Sancho's a bit of a bonus, isn't he?
Why they're going that way? I can't understand why they're going that way with Sancho because I thought, looking at them going forward, those three attacking players, they look very, very good. I thought their biggest problem is at the back.
Exactly, they're more or less doing what Arsenal.
They're going for more attacking player. Well, the biggest problem is getting a left back and probably another centre half. Not getting Sanchez. They've got Greenwood. They've got Martial. They've got Rashford. You've got behind them. You've got who's the Dutch guy?
Van der Beek.
Van der Beek. You've got of course Fernandes. I mean, all these players. They don't need. I think that it's the back line that they should be addressing. A left back and possibly a centre half. And they're going there want to spend 100 million on a guy up front when they've all got their ammunition. Going forward, they looked all right, United. Going forward, they look very dangerous every time. Look at the Rashford goal today. Look at that goal from Rashford.
I said to you guys before that one of the biggest things that we did was go out and get Alisson and Van Dijk because we were in the situation where we were playing an entertaining game, some 4-3s, 3-2s, but we couldn't shut teams out. And as Claude mentioned earlier on, we learned to grind out a few results after bringing in. You're not going to win anything without a good defence. You're not going to win Premier League titles without a good defence and a good goalkeeper. So I absolutely agree with what you're all saying.
Aston Villa last season was an example. Away from home. Because their last in injury time. You ground out that game, didn't it? Injury time, wasn't it? Last season. I just don't understand. I think United need to be looking at is not Sancho, is at the back, left back and the centre half for me. But that's not spending 100 million. How much is it? 110 million they want for him. I'm not even sure he's even worth that. I've seen him a couple of times, a few or four for England. He doesn't stand out to me as a £100 million player.
I want to ask you guys something, actually, and I've asked a lot of opposition fans this. When teams come to Anfield, particularly when you've got Oba on that left-hand side, they seem to be targeting Trent. And I want to know from an outsider's perspective why you guys think that that's the case. I have a theory that it might be because the midfielders aren't giving them enough protection, or that they look at maybe Gomez and Trent as the weaker side because you've got obviously Van Dijk and Robbo on the other side. But I'd love to get an outsider's perspective.
I think you hit the nail on the head, just what you just said there, Craig. I think if you look at, if you break it down into two sections, on one side you've got Robbo and Van Dijk, and on the other side you've got Trent and who was it? Sorry, you just said
Gomez.
Normally it's Joe Gomez that would be there.
Yeah, like Gomez. So if I was a manager, I would definitely be looking at that and saying, let's go down the left hand side, because that's a little bit weaker than obviously the right hand side. That is the only thing that I would say personally. But I don't know. Looking at Liverpool at the moment, they're just saying, I don't know what it is with your defence at the minute. Your midfield is sand, your front three are sand. There's just something not quite right at the moment, and I don't know what. I've said this in my last couple, and obviously you've been leaking a few goals lately, and I just don't understand what's happening.
Don't speak too early.
No, I understand we're going to go there and score loads of goals. I'm just saying, like in the games that they've played at the moment with Leeds United, who did you play after Leeds? Craig, was it?
We beat Chelsea 2-0 and then the 7-2 with Lincoln.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. There's just I can't put my finger on it. For when you look at that team lineup, you would think that, let's be honest, when you go to places like Leeds or West Brom, Norwich, like them sort of teams, that they would hold out and get a clean sheet, no problem. But I don't know. There just seems to be something there for me. I don't know what it is.
But is it that, or is it just something simple like teams have improved? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is what I was saying about Liverpool. You won the title by a canter last season, but you're still. I know Klopp knows this. I personally think it was your board. I personally think because I heard. I mean, actually, Craig, I wanted to ask you this. So, with regards to what's his name, Thiago, right? There was a lot of stories going around that it was actually Klopp who actually went to the board and demanded. It got to a point where Klopp was like, Klopp obviously, I think, went to your board and said, look, if you don't get anyone at all this summer, just get me him, right? It's becoming an issue now. Like when you go to a board, Klopp's got that clout where he can, any other player that I want, look, if we can, great. If we can't, I understand. When it comes to Thiago, no negotiation. Go and get him. That's the player I want. Get it done. And I can believe that. I can believe that Klopp put some pressure on your board in order to get that deal done. And when you look at the amount of money, was it 30 million? Which for me is an absolute bargain. Bargain. It's another player that I look at my club and think, why did Arsenal? Were you sleeping again?
£5 million a year for the 4 years of his contract, and then $5 million in potential add-ons. So, if you're looking at it that way, the deal that the Michael Edwards is the guy that negotiates our deal structured with Bayern Munich was phenomenal for Thiago. To be honest, yes, of course, his contract situation had a bit to say in it, but I do think what Diesel said is right. There are a few players that Klopp wanted. I got a little bit worried over the Werner situation, if I'm being honest with you, because we know Liverpool side Klopp wanted Werner. I understood that the maths just didn't add up at the time, the way the deal was going to be structured. Thiago, it was just a case of trying to make everybody happy, trying to let Bayern save face, get the player the move, and get Klopp the man he wants, like Diesel has said. But, I'm sitting here now absolutely delighted to have Thiago in as number 6. I mean, what a player to bring in.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand. I mean, all these transfers going ahead. How is Luis Suarez gone for £5 million? Am I missing? They
have basically spat in the face of that player, Luis Suarez. I will defend that man to the death. I don't care that he went to Barcelona. The way he left Liverpool was shitty, but what he did at Barcelona, the goals that man scored alongside Lionel Messi, for the way they let him go like that, the way they treated him, I think it's disgraceful.
But why would they let him go for such a small amount of money? I don't get it. What's that?
Because they're in debt, Claude. They let Vidal go for $1 million. They're in debt. The COVID.
Yeah, they should get his wages off the books.
Yeah. the COVID has hit. You think it's hit us hard over here? The Spanish, Atletico Madrid are skint. You know, and don't forget. I think the
why hasn't the Premier League club moved £5 million?
I don't think he was anyway. To be honest, I think he was settled in Spain. Now, I mean, obviously he went to Liverpool, but I think he's settled in Spain now with obviously his missus and his kids and that, and that's why he's only moved just a little bit down the road. Because if he really wanted to come back to the Premiership, he could have told his agents.
Yeah. I'm surprised no club has really tried to get £5 million for £5 million. I think that's
obviously there was the transfer to Juventus that fell through. He was trying to get that. He had to get an Italian passport or citizenship in time for him to be registered for the Champions League. That didn't go. And look, Barca just wanted him off. Now, Barcelona, I know people don't have second teams really, but I've always had a fondness for Barcelona. And I spoke with Graham Hunter about the situation at Barcelona. It's a shambles. They're in so much debt, as are Madrid. The players had to take up to a 70% wage cut. There's some deal that they have to pay back money to. I don't know if it's the Spanish government or the Spanish FA. There's presidential elections that are going to be coming up in March in Barcelona, and their clubs are run differently. They're owned by the fans, Barcelona, and you know the president is the guy who makes the calls, and the other guy. It's a weird situation because Xavi's going to be their manager by the end of next season. Whatever Ronald Koeman does, he's there for 1 year and he's out on his ear because the guy that's going to win the elections is bringing Xavi in. So I think the board are just trying to clear the decks before they bring in Xavi. I think they're almost going to write off this year. But the treatment of Messi, the treatment of Suarez, and the purchase of Antoine Griezmann, I will never understand. That was ridiculous. Clearly not going to fit in there. I don't understand what they did. And look, the chickens are coming home to roost. You know what I mean? For years, the Spanish clubs tried to bully every club around the world with their financial power, and now they're kind of being shown up a little bit. So, you know, it is what it is.
You just hit that there, because this is where all this bullshit about Aubameyang was offered to buy, turn down Barcelona. They ain't got the money to buy Aubameyang. If you're just telling me all this, what they've got now.
Yeah. So
they
haven't, Claude. They haven't.
Hey?
Yeah, they haven't.
We've got some feisty talk here. That we've got Sophie, the hairdryer treatment, in the chat. How you doing, Sophie? Hope you're well. And she's put Suarez is a snake. Craigie boy.
You cheated today, Sophie. Your team cheated.
I'm a big Luis Suarez fan. I know the way he left the club was shit, but he gave everything on the pitch for Liverpool. And I love that he's a nutcase.
Yeah.
That's another thing today. How the hell did that go those 6 minutes? When Brighton scored, that was time up. How the hell has that gone over 5-6 minutes when they even the corner, they had the corner there? 6 minutes.
I don't know.
5 minutes. No, sorry, I'm not.
Just saying quickly on the Suarez thing. Messi's come out on Twitter, hasn't he? And on his Instagram, and
defending him, isn't he?
Put a big message and going against Barcelona once again, saying how disgusting it was, how they treated Suarez.
They lived beside each other. The families holidayed together. They had a great partnership.
Yeah, very close.
Really good mates.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Messi wanted to leave, isn't it? I mean, that's why he wanted to leave. But also, great player. Great player. But that wage is a lot of money, isn't it? 400. Yeah, I suppose that's why he's gone. But then Messi.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to pay that, I suppose, Claude, for 33. Go on, Claude.
There is so much debt. If Barcelona are in so much debt, why are they asking all this big money for Messi? Man City would have given them a good offer and got him out of a lot of debt. That's what I'm just saying.
There would be revolt within like if you think people marching to Ed Woodward's house was bad, if Barcelona had to let Messi go the way that they were doing it, it would be ugly.
Contract.
What is so
Yeah, you can say that again. Always happen. They call you Penchester United.
NBA Gaming, thank you for your contribution again. He said, Diesel, my G. Sadly, is the only way Vinay said we are going for Premier League and Champions League. They want Arteta gone and Spurs above you. Look at fucking Spurs team. I am fuming.
But this.
Well, why would you be worried about Spurs, to be honest? They've an aging Bale and who'll be injured for half the season. Harry Kane will be injured when it comes to crunch time. Jose Mourinho is going to leave them with a shitty aging squad and a big high wage bill.
Things like that, mate. You got two Mourinho fans next to us, unfortunately.
Listen.
Don't keep on about him, man. You're going on about Mourinho. Listen, he's still got it, man. He's still got it, and he's going to prove it this season. He's still got.
Craig, what's your thoughts on Mourinho? Do you think he'd do anything this season, mate?
He's a proven winner. You can't deny the man's record, but I don't think it's the right fit for Spurs. I never understood it. Like I'll be respectful of the man's career, of course I will. What he's achieved, you don't do that by not being a special manager. But I don't know. Anyone who plays for the guy seems to love him. That's what I'll say. I think he fronts up a lot and takes pressure off his players.
Slightly different to how you feel, too, eh?
Listen, I honestly do think that he won't do anything. I think it's a match made in heaven. And as long as he stays at Tottenham, I will be happy. I'll be happy. I don't think he'd do anything. Like you said, Craig, they bought Bale. Listen, I think, unfortunately, he hasn't played a lot of football over the last 2 or 3 years. You don't know how he's going to be with injury. He's already out for a month, I think he is. And then obviously you've got Harry Kane that keeps getting injured every year at the moment. He's getting a bit like Van Persie. Fantastic player. But if he keeps getting injuries like Van Persie, then they're going to miss him all the time. So they haven't really bought anyone else. I don't think their defence is that great. So, it's...
And they had to take on £150 million government loan, I think, as well, on top of the repayments for that, what is a magnificent new stadium. I had the pleasure of going there for a game, and I know big rivalry between you guys, but it is one hell of a ground, I have to say.
Their stadium's lovely. Listen, this is the thing, Craig, right? If we talk about listen, we'll always talk about Spurs if we're asked a question or if we're, previewing the game. For me, that's where it ends. I'm not really interested in what Spurs do. I'm interested in what we do, and I think that's the thing that I keep hearing is
Terry. It's Terry's obsession. All he does is bring up Mourinho. He's obsessed with it. Obsessed. Total obsession. I don't want to hear it every time. This is an Arsenal show. He's got that obsession with Mourinho, Tottenham. What do you think of that?
It's always you who brings it up, Till.
Who do you guys think are going to break top 4 this season? Genuinely, even without positions, I know it's difficult to name 1, 2, 3, 4, but I think we'll all agree Liverpool and City are probably nailed on for top 4. I think that's probably fair enough to say. But I'd love to know who you guys think might take those last 2 places, because it's going to be really interesting. Everton, obviously, as much as it kills me to say, have got off to a great start. Chelsea look a little bit shaky, but they might come good as they start to gel. You guys in the mix as well. Wolves, can't rule them out. Good piece of business getting Semedo from Barcelona. Another example of why they're broke, by the way. They're having to sell Semedo to Wolves as well.
It's another player,
One that I fear Everton more than I fear the Chelsea and Man United at the moment. I'm telling you, Everton are playing really well.
That's funny you say that, Claude. Craig, would you say Ancelotti's a washed-up manager? Would you say he's washed up?
Washed up? Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. No. Again, another manager I have nothing but the height of respect for, even though he's Everton's manager.
It's funny you say that, right? Because when I was boosting him up on here, all I was told was, he didn't do nothing at Napoli or wherever it was. He's washed up. He's too old. Now they've won 3 games on the trot. That seems to have died down a little bit, and he's doing all right. So he's made a comeback. It's funny how fans go, isn't it?
Not from me, my friend. Not from me.
No, just
I've always
anyway.
Listen, it's only 3 games. I can't keep getting told about Arteta. It's only 3 games.
Yeah, same thing we told you, right? Whenever Spurs lost the game, it's only a couple of games. If we got to give Arteta time, but we can slag Mourinho off when they've been at the clubs the same amount of time. Why is it good for one, but it doesn't work for the other? Because Craig, I'll ask you, if Arteta has been at Arsenal for 9 months, right, started around the same time as Mourinho, is it fair that we have to say we've got to give Arteta time, but when Mourinho loses a game, we can just shit on him? Can you answer me that? what's good for one must go for the other, right?
One of the joys about being a football fan is that we can be absolute hypocrites. It's one of the best things about it. We can. It depends on our own likes and our own biases. I'm a hypocrite every week. You're probably the same. Yeah. It just depends on which way you look at a situation, whether you're looking at it fondly or negatively, or whether you're emotionally invested in it or not. We're all hypocrites. Let's be honest.
Especially him in the top corner there. He's the biggest.
I hear you, Craig, but don't forget, right? We watch a lot of your streams, and whilst you could be an hypocrite, right, you're also real with it. Yeah. So if Liverpool have been shit, you say they've been shit, right? So if you say, "Oh, he's shit," or "That club we played poor," but you can explain that there's a method to your madness, right? There's a reason. Yeah, we were shit, and the reason was, and you break it down, Craig, to where people hear that and think, "Oh yeah, I see what he's saying." I don't agree, but I can see what he's saying. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? You know, and that's what I'm saying. But Ancelotti, I'm telling you now, not so much Terry, but there were certain others who said, "Oh, he's washed up. He did nothing at his last club." Forgetting the facts, he'd done the business at his previous 8 or 9 clubs before that. It didn't work out for him at one club, and all of a sudden he's done.
I think what happens, Diesel, a lot of the times is you see young managers coming through like Julian Nagelsmann, and you know, they're the hot properties, and people are looking at different styles of football, and they think that the likes of the Mourinhos, maybe the Carlo Ancelottis, that they can't adapt to a modern system. I think sometimes we all think that these guys are idiots, but they don't get to where they get to without knowing the game inside out. I mean, I like to think I know the game. I've been involved in it since I've been 7 years of age, but I watched a documentary called Pass the Ball, Move the Ball on Barcelona's team under Pep Guardiola, and to sit there and listen to the coaches talking and break the game down, I ended that documentary realizing I knew very little about a sport that I've spent my entire life in. So, you know, we got to give these guys credit. They don't get to where they are without having the knowledge of the sport and being able to manage human beings as well.
Do you know what? I was slaughtered last season when I've always rated this guy, Calvin Lewin. I was slaughtered for rating him. I think he's a top player. I'll tell you what, if we had him instead of Lacazette at Arsenal, what a much improved team we'd be as well, mate. Brilliant player. Brilliant player.
What's your thoughts?
And he's getting the reward.
On Calvert-Lewin?
Yeah.
It's a difficult one. I mean, he seems like the type of lad who needed a manager that believed in him. Ancelotti seems to believe in him, and you can see the rewards of it this season. And he's got his tail up. He's got himself, 5 goals or something already this season? And he just needed that manager to believe in him. I think it's. I don't want to give him any credit. Obviously, I want to.
It's not just his goals.
Destroy them, but he looks like he works for the manager. He looks like he gives 100%. He looks like he wants to learn. I think for Everton, there are James Rodriguez injury away from dropping down a few points, if I'm being honest with you. And we spoke about people whose body breaks down with Harry Kane and Gareth Bale, but he's another one. I can understand why Everton took the gamble, obviously, because you're getting a footballer there that, with all due respect, shouldn't be playing for Everton. But let's see if he can last the season. But yeah, look, Calvert-Lewin, again, I'm somebody who calls it as I see it, and he's got the goal. Fair play.
It's not just his all-round play. It's not just his goals. It's all-round play. Bringing players into the game as well. It's just brilliant. He would have.
You know who's actually impressed me at Everton, and I've said this on a couple of streams before, Gomez. I think he was a tidy addition in midfield.
Yeah.
Going back, he's when we play Everton, I always look out for him. I think he's a very tidy footballer. Again, kills me to say it.
Yeah, their weakness is the goalkeeper.
Little T-Rex boy. God bless him. He needs to learn to shut his mouth. When Alisson made a mistake, he said, I won't be making mistakes. He made about 4 that season. God bless him. He just needs to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Pickford, yeah. They have this thing that plays at Goodison Park. When he makes a save, on the big scoreboard, it says England's #1, Jordan Pickford. I mean, the absolute state of it.
I don't think he's the better keeper than him.
I was surprised that you guys, you got good money from, but I was surprised to see you guys move your keeper onto Villa. I mean, somebody who came in and I thought did very well when he came in for you.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. We've had meltdowns over that, Craig.
Great decision.
Do you know what?
Didn't you tell?
I don't think it's a great decision. I don't think it's a great decision. What it is with me, Claude. Sorry, Diesel. Sorry, mate. I didn't mean to jump.
Go on.
what it is with me is that obviously I look at it on both sides, Craig. He's been with us for 10 years, right? He's been with us for 10 years. He's been a great servant. He's been fantastic. And let's be honest, right? Because if Leno didn't get injured last year, Martinez wouldn't have come into the squad anyway. So he was already going to move in my eyes, and we would have only got £2 to £3 million for him, which we would have done.
Whose fault is that he wouldn't have come into the side? Who's watching these keepers? Who's watching it? You could see he's got the calm assurance that Leno hasn't got. You can see that. He's got everything.
I'm not saying that he's a better keeper than Leno. I'm not saying that.
Look at the goalkeeping coaches and know who's telling him who's number one.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you've had a keeper that's been there for 10 years under Wenger, under Emery, under Arteta, and he's never, ever got a chance, unfortunately, for him. He's never got a chance, which he should have done, let's be honest. The season he had last year, he was absolutely fantastic. But he wants to be the number one keeper. He wants to be guaranteed that. And going to Villa or someone like that, he knows damn well that even if he gets injured, he's going to be the number one when he comes straight back in. I don't blame him. I wish he stayed. I wish he stayed. And, you know, I wanted
he was guaranteed first team.
Claude, you used to say about Aubameyang, he shouldn't sign the deal with Arsenal because we haven't got no ambition. That's what you were saying last season when we were signing him. Now, even the same thing, he's got ambition. He wants to go to a club. He wants to be number one.
You're telling me going to Villa instead of staying at Arsenal is more ambition then?
I reckon he was going at the end of the season without a doubt.
How can you say going to Villa from Arsenal is more ambition?
I'm not saying Aston Villa is more ambition. You're twisting my words. You're not listening to what I'm saying. It's him. He wants to be ambitious in his career. He doesn't want to sit on the bench again for another 10 years. No one.
If we would have told him he was first team goalkeeper, he would have stayed. He would have stayed.
Maybe. I don't think if I'm honest, I don't think he approached Arteta and said to him, I want a guarantee I'll be your number one, like no matter what. What Arteta should have said is because of how you, and it's funny how every opposition fan, every non-Arsenal fan tells us they're surprised that we sold him. That says a lot for me. That Martinez, it's not just us who saw it, it was the opposition fans as well. But what Arteta should have said, any manager, it's not because it's Arteta, but based on how you finished the season, you are starting as my number one, and it's yours to lose. Yeah. Right? Now, Arteta openly came out and said this a couple of weeks ago. Leno was his number one. He came out and said, so basically, Leno's now fit from injury. In he goes, Martinez, thanks for filling in, but you're out. And for me, that's no, it's wrong. I still think it's wrong. I know what you're saying, Tel, about the money, and it comes back to money, and it winds me up. But if he'd carried on this season, how we finished last season, even if we sold him in a year's time, who's to say we couldn't have got 45 million? Do you know what I'm saying? And I look at that. Ramsdale went to Sheffield United for more than Martinez. Give it another year under his belt. We could have probably got double, right? But here's a crazy thought. If he does it again this season, let's keep him. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. But
then you got the point of what Seamus is putting here, right? Putting Martinez number one, then Leno would have wanted to leave. I would think that overall Leno is the better keeper, right? So if he would have made Martinez, you would have been fine with Leno leaving then. And then we're getting in.
Tell. Listen, no player, right? It takes to us as a club, yeah? After before we leave. Earn the shirt back. Earn it back. If you don't want to earn it back, fuck off.
I agree with that.
It's as simple as that. Who is Leno to come? No, you're at the Arsenal, mate. Who are you?
Exactly.
This is how we've suffered over the years because we let players bend us over and fuck us up in the arse. No more. You got injured. It's unfortunate. You are a good keeper, but I can't drop him, Leno. He's been brilliant. I can't drop him. Right? So it's his now to lose, and it's yours to win back. If you don't like that, see you later. What is so wrong in that?
No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. What he's probably said was, look, you could probably be number one, but as soon as you make a mistake, that's it, you're out, right? And then he probably said, well, if I make a mistake, then I've got to be sitting on the bench again for God knows how long. If I go to someone like Villa, for my career, I could probably be their keeper for another 5-6 years as their number one. That's what I'm saying.
One mistake. If he has a run, a run of a few bad games, but I can't see him hearing that and thinking, nah, stop that. I'm going to go and fight relegation with Villa.
Look, you see it after the FA Cup when he done his interview. He was crying because he loves the club, and I believe that he didn't want to go, but he knew deep down he had
more reason to keep
for himself.
I don't know. As fans, we are crying out for players like that who have an emotional attachment to this club. That is what we're crying out for. We should have kept him.
No, I want to be back in the time. No one's got that right, especially when the other players been outstanding. No one's got a right to come back in like that. No one.
That's hell. Me and you have said it. You know, like if you're on form, you keep the shirt. Yeah, it's exactly. Merit. It's not about if your face fits. It's merit. You keep the shirt on merit. It doesn't matter who you are, how much money you're on. Right? If you're doing the business, you keep the shirt. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, it sends out a poor message, right, to all the other players who are trying to get in the team.
Also, what does that tell the new keeper that's coming in now? Right, this new keeper now is coming in. He's coming in now to the team. If he gets a chance to play in the team, something happens to Leonard go. What incentive has he got to stay in that team? What incentive? Come on. That's
unfortunate, Craig.
Badly done. Sorry, we're leaving Craig out here.
We just blew Craig's mind. Go on, Craig. Sorry, mate.
It's all right, lads. You work away. I'm happy to listen.
What would you think? Anyway,
I think it was good money. I think it was money in this market that maybe will help Arsenal get a transfer or two over the line. But to be honest with you, I don't really rate either keeper as somebody that I think an upgrade is needed. Not a massive fan of Leno. I think we spoke about needing good defences and good goalkeepers to go on and challenge, and I think Arsenal deserve a better goalkeeper. They've always had them throughout the years, whether it be right back to the days of David Seaman. I don't know. It's not for me to say about Martin or Martinelli whether he should have stayed or left, but I do think you got good money for him.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, to be honest. And going back to Seaman, I'd love to have Seaman again. Love to have a goalkeeper like him in goal. Definitely. So we've just been going over the hour. Give us your prediction for the game on Monday, and then give us your prediction for the Thursday game. I know it'll be a different game because obviously it's a cup game. We'll probably put weekend sides out or whatever. But give us your predictions.
They'll play the same team, wouldn't they? They'll play the same team they played against Lincoln, wouldn't they, against us in the cup game? Sure, that's what they'll do. Craig.
Yeah, maybe one or two. You might see Jordan Henderson slip in there. He can't make Monday, maybe Thursday. But and I think those young lads deserve that opportunity, to be fair. The Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Reece Williams. Yeah, I think Claude's probably right. We won't be a million miles away from the team that took the pitch. Maybe Jota might get a start.
So what's your predictions for Monday and Thursday, Craig?
I've gone on my prediction. I'll go for a 3-1 Liverpool win. Obviously on Monday, you won't be surprised to think of that. But I am expecting a very difficult game. And look, I've been wrong. I predicted Liverpool win the last time, and I was wrong. On Thursday, I don't know. I can see another penalty shootout. I think it might go all the way on Thursday because both have great sets of young players. I genuinely think Arsenal have a good young squad there as well coming through. And I think Thursday might be the more entertaining of the two games.
Yeah, it was very entertaining last year, wasn't it? The 5-5.
That was nuts. Yeah, it was brilliant.
You know what? Do you know what? I've got a bad taste in my mouth about this competition now. After what happened to Leyton Orient, I don't like that. Why are we playing 1 week later the next round of the cup as well, and all these games playing, and then they wonder why players pick up injuries. Now you've got. Spurs have got Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. They've got that Europa League thing, I think, and they still got. and then they've got to play that on the weekend. That's 4 games. And then they wonder why players pick up injuries. It's ridiculous. Why is this League Cup now being played 1 week after another? I don't understand it. I just don't understand.
I think it's to free up some dates in the calendar later on. But I agree. And it's interesting as well that when clubs go into Europe now, they'll be able to make 5 substitutions, whereas you come back to the English competitions, it'll be back to 3 with 7 on the bench. So it is going to be a bit weird, all right, as the season goes on. I do agree, by the way, with the Premier League sticking to 3 substitutions, because I think if you stuck with the 5, it would favour the bigger sides.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's like you're giving I think that's hard for Leighton Orient to throw them out of the competition. I mean, are we going to have that in the? You wouldn't get that in the other major competitions, would you? If the team. To
be fair, they fucked us in the League Cup as well when we were over playing the Club World Cup, but they made us send the kids to Villa in the quarter final. There's history of it.
At least you've got a chance to play the game.
I absolutely feel for Leighton Orient. It's not their fault that people are sick. Do you know what I mean? I absolutely hear where you're coming from.
I just it's a bad taste for me in the competition. It just devalues it as well for me. Because it's penalties. It's penalties if it's no extra time in this, is there? In there?
No, it's just straight to penalties.
Yeah. Do you know what?
You could have another game like last year. You're right.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me actually what Craig said. It wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool beat us on Monday, yet we could do something in the cup. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Whoever gets through on Thursday, you're in the quarters then, aren't you? Like, it's that quickly you're into the quarterfinals, I think, if my maths is correct on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some great ties, by the way. Spurs, Chelsea, isn't it? Spurs playing Chelsea.
Yeah. There is some good ties,
Yeah. And to be honest, Craig, I'd like to win it. I know it's not the most glamorous of cups. It's still a cup. Obviously we grew up watching that, and I think I just look at it as who are we to look at it and think, nah, you know what? Nah, we don't want that one. No, we're not. Like it's that old school thing of, whatever competition you're in, go to win it. Aim to win it. Otherwise, there's no point turning up.
Winning becomes a habit, doesn't it? It becomes a habit. You go in competitions expecting to win. You guys have an FA Cup this season. If you add another piece of silverware, it just becomes a habit, and that's how confidence slowly starts to build. And exactly. Klopp's being accused of disrespecting the League Cup. I don't think he has. I think, like Claude said earlier on, I think he put out a young team of up and coming players that he believed would get a job done, and sometimes that doesn't happen. And we were beaten in the FA Cup by, I think it was a very good Chelsea team last year, if my memory is correct. And I want us to go and win every competition. I want the time Jordan Henderson and Klopp leave Liverpool, I want them to have the full set. I want them to have all the medals.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Man City do treat it seriously anyway, don't they? So because they win it every year. So
they really do. They love that League Cup, to be fair.
That's why I looked at that. And I thought, Arteta, having worked under Pep, would have seen that, because Pep does take these things seriously. And do you know what? Fair play to him. A manager of his stature taking that, because he wants to win it all. He's greedy, and I love that.
There's a lot of managers, because if you have Klopp and you have Pep and you have managers coming from other countries, there's one cup. There's one cup. Over here, they come and they put the FA Cup and the League Cup. So it is different. And sometimes the managers like Pep don't understand why it's looked on unfavourably compared to maybe the FA Cup. Personally, I actually prefer the League Cup to the FA Cup. Maybe because of great memories of Liverpool over the years. But I've always had an affinity towards the League Cup. I like it.
Yeah. But Craig, it's funny how most fans don't take it seriously. Yeah, if we reach the final... different story, isn't it? Because we want to win it now, don't we? Because
guaranteed path into Europe for you as well. I know it's not the competition anybody wants to be in, but if you get that out of the way early in the season, this is usually February, March time when the final is played. If you've got that in the bags, that can take a little bit of pressure off going forward in the league as well.
I was just about to say, because these games are coming thick and fast, will they move the final even quicker, or do you think it'll still be in February?
I haven't looked at the calendar off the top of my head. Terry, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I hope we're there, wherever it is.
Yeah.
And in the chat now, super chat, I think it's
AC.
DC, Diesel. You know what to say, mate. You know what to say.
Long day, but I bet it was a long day, especially with United. That must have cheered you up. But I'm here now. How's it go?
No, come on, Claude. You did it the other day. Say, AC, you know. Come on, Claude.
Yeah, nah.
Claude in his street slang.
Thank you very much for your contribution, Reed. Appreciate it.
That's very nice. Diesel,
actually, while we have a United fan on there, got to give massive respect to Marcus Rashford as well for everything that he's done for young kids in the UK. Nothing but love and respect. I mean, that's the type of lad young footballers and young kids should be looking up to, using his influence in the right way. Brilliant. Nothing but respect for the man.
Oh, sorry.
I tweeted it out, and I retweeted it out, Craig, and I just made a point of saying, listen, rivalries aside, and I had to put that first because obviously, no doubt someone was saying, I thought you was an Arsenal fan. Let's be honest. There are idiots on that platform. Yeah, I just made a point of that. No, I shouldn't have had to, but I just thought, just so I'm clear. And I just thought, you know what? Massive respect to Rashford. It's just not as a player. I'm judging him as a man now.
Yeah.
As a man, what he's doing, for obviously, the underprivileged kids. Listen, we're all, I'm assuming we're all fathers here. Do you know what I mean? So it's just an absolutely brilliant thing. And for a young man doing it, and I hope people, other players, look at that and think, do you know what? Follow suit. Do what he's doing. Help out how he is.
Be fair, a lot of players do work for charities. So there's
no, they all do a really good job. But well done to itself.
Alexandre, but there's also a lot who don't.
I'm sorry, Dave. Sorry, mate.
No, go on, mate. I was just saying.
Alexandre said, "Is the League Cup the milk and rumbelows of old?" Yes, it is, mate. It's the little Cola Cup. Anything else, boys? You can remember? Which other name was it?
Here's one. I remember a name of a cup, and maybe Claude can help me out with this one. The Zenith Data System. No, the Zenith Data Systems Cup.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was nothing to do.
I don't remember what one it was, though. What competition it actually was.
It wasn't to do with that was a separate competition.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was other clubs. There were a few Premier League clubs in it, but I can't
remember where it was, but I do remember it like you, Craig. I remember that name.
That's weird, isn't it? Gold, we're showing our age here, aren't we?
You're a fan there, Craig, I think.
Right, Craig is awesome.
Well, that's all right. The check's in the post, mate. Cheers, Supreme. The check's in the post, mate.
It's exactly what we say.
Right, cool. Give us your predictions for Monday night and on Thursday.
Okay, I said, Monday, I think it'd be 1-1.
Yep.
I've got a feeling that we'll beat them in the cup game because I think we'll have a bit more experience in that as well. So I think we'll beat them 2-1 or game. But the Intertoto Cup, I think it'll be a draw. I've got a feeling we're going to get a draw on. Maybe I'm being too hopeful, but I just got that feeling that the way our confidence is at the moment, and it's not a bad time to play Liverpool. This is no disrespect, Craig. It's not what I'm saying is that they're a great side, but it's not a bad time because you're not fully functioning to the maximum at the moment. If you see what I'm saying. Do you get what
I said the same. I said the exact same earlier. I think we caught Chelsea at the right time in the season as well. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. Even though I thought you were quite impressive, I think that performance at Chelsea, I still think there's levels you could go above that, even that performance at Chelsea. All right. So, and I don't think you're that levels above yet. I think if we'd have played you in December, I wouldn't be that optimistic. But I think now, I think it'll be 1-1. I'm going to go 1-1.
And what about on penalties then? Who's going to win?
No, what? I said 1-1 and I said we'll win.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant the other one. Diesel, what's yours?
Monday, I think we're going to lose 2-1. And on Thursday, innit?
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday. Blimey, there's no point us coming home. You might as well stay up there.
I got a fiver for it again, have we? I mean, a tenner for it again, like last time.
Nah, stop that. Oh God, didn't it? I think. I think you said it, Craig. I actually do think this one could maybe go to penalties. There's no extra time, is there? So if it's a draw at the end of 90 minutes, no, I'm going for penalties. I think it'll be a very tight game. Good game, but I think it'll be tight.
Who?
So score-wise, I'll go. So I'm going to be bold. 2-2 draw, penalties, and I think. Oh, that's tough, isn't it?
One on penalty, we've got penalties.
Yeah, it'll go penalties. I'm going to be positive. Arsenal are going to do it on penalties.
We would like a prediction before the game actually starts. Anyway, yeah.
It's early on Thursday, isn't it?
I think it's 7:45. I think.
Is it?
It's not on that Carabao Cup live thing, is it? Or...
Well, I don't know. Probably isn't it?
Cheers, Nino. Thank you, man.
Thanks, mate. I thought for some reason it was on at 7. I might see another game on at
7:45.
7:45. All right, so Monday I've gone.
But not on that Carabao Cup thing.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look. But I'm on Monday. I'm going for. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a lot tighter than what everyone think it's going to be. There's a lot of Liverpool fans out there. 3-1. I see Seamus is going, and the same as who was it? There was someone else. Joyce 3-1. There's a few. Omar's going 3-1. I don't know. I just think Arteta seems to know how to play against us. Obviously, in the last 2 games that we played against you, I would have. Would have thought that you would have smashed us, to be honest, considering that he's just got in. Got these players trying to sort out things. But I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2 on Monday, and then on Thursday, I think you will beat us, to be honest, because I think you will put out quite a decent side. And I think Arteta will go a bit weak. I don't think Aubameyang will be in the side. I don't think Willian will be in the side. So I think we're going to go.
A great piece of business for you, lads. By the way, I didn't mention that earlier on. Chelsea are idiots for letting that go. Idiots.
A lot of Arsenal fans don't agree with you.
Willian, I think, is a great piece of business. I don't. He's quality. I mean, he's not going to be an absolute world beater, but you're going to get good, solid performances and you chip in with goals.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Listen, if we can get these other 2 midfielders in, then I think it's been a great window for us, to be honest, with who we've got in. But let's wait and see until if these 2 players do come in. But I do think I think you might beat us on Thursday 3-1. I think that will be the scoreline on Wednesday. I just think he won't put out a strong side with Aubameyang or Willian and people like that. I think he'll play the reserves out and the youngsters like he did in the last round. And I think
he might play a weaker side than he played against Leicester because we've got a game on the Sunday as well, isn't it? So I might have to think that one through again. Yeah.
Ryan Darko, big up yourself. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. Lovely comment. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. And he looks. Is he an Arsenal fan? Was that or a Liverpool fan?
Looked like Reece Nelson, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's Reece Nelson. Yeah.
I was looking at the badge. I couldn't see the badge.
Oh, do you know what? I've got to say this, by the way, right? I don't know if you boys seen the game earlier. Brighton and not Brighton. West Brom and Chelsea. That is it. Callum Robinson, is that his name? Who scored the goal for West Brom?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Callum. I'm sure it's Callum Robinson. Oh my God, is he not a spitting image for Aubameyang? Do you not see that? He scored his goal and he stood there looking at the camera like that. He's got the same hairstyle, right? The F, right? The Barnet. He is a spitting image of Aubameyang.
There's another one floating around that's the spitting image of Van Dijk as well. I think he plays in the Dutch league or somewhere, but he's carved out of him. Same physique, same height, same hairdo. Just looks identical to him. I'd nearly sign him just because. Do you know what I mean? Just because he looks the same, physical attributes, everything the same.
This is his doppelganger.
Dan, that's very kind words. That's very kind words. But hopefully you'll put some money in by the next Monday and get these other 2 players in, Stanley. Thank you very much.
Come on, Stan.
The draw for the Champions League is on. The group stage of the Champions League is on Thursday, isn't it? So that'd be interesting to see where you'll be looking. See where Liverpool, who they get. Craig, you'll be anticipating.
I was really annoyed that we got knocked out by Atleti, because I would have loved to seen us have a head-to-head with that Bayern Munich team. I think that would have been a cracker. Now, obviously, we can't get them in the group. We're both in pot 1, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's my favourite competition. A lot of Liverpool fans want the league. We got the league. For me, I just love the European Cup. I just grew up the European nights at Anfield. If you can name them, it's brilliant. I love it. I'm so excited about it.
Team you want to avoid Seville. Seville are a team that you want to avoid. They look a good team. It was very
good side. Lopetegui gone in there, done a good job. Unlucky in the Super Cup, obviously against Bayern Munich, who are a very, very good team. But yeah, it's great. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's going to be hopefully another good season. It left a bitter taste, that Atletico Madrid tie for Liverpool fans, to see the competition going on still, and you're just sitting at home watching it. It hurt, I'm not going to lie, but Bayern Munich were incredible, absolutely incredible. I'm so glad that what are they called, Qatari FC didn't win it. I'm so glad.
Good shot, yeah. We'll see.
Just quickly on one point, Craig, let's get your view on this. Do you think that fans will be back this season?
Yes, but I don't know about this side of Christmas.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. Yeah,
I agree with that. You, Claude, agree with that?
Oh yeah, I had a nightmare.
I understand the hypocrisy, by the way, that Claude was going on about earlier on. It is rife, whether it be bars, gatherings, football clubs. How can you could surely get 12,500 people into the likes of the Emirates or Anfield, or just to start off and see how things are. Give the clubs the opportunity to do things right. That's what I would say. The clubs are willing to invest money in it to get some fans back in, try and do it safely. Super Cup had fans at it as well. Everybody wants people to be safe. Of course we do. But, I don't want to see Championship clubs, League One clubs, League Two clubs going out of business because of something that has nothing to do with them. They can't control it. I really do feel sorry for them in this situation.
Yeah.
Nightmare now, This morning I went for breakfast at McDonald's. You got to go in, scan this thing on the wall first, then you got to sign all your name, your address, everything on the thing. Then 15 minutes before you actually get to the counter, I nearly missed the breakfast because I went in there at 10:15 and I nearly missed the breakfast because they stopped the breakfast at 10:30. So I nearly missed it. Yesterday, went into Wetherspoons, another chaos. Took us half an hour before we could even order a drink, and then we had to wait at a table.
I was thinking you in a McDonald's? No.
This morning, because I didn't get home last night, and
Claude, you dirty old goat.
Claude, hope you wore protection down there. All right, hope you wore protection.
You know what I mean? Yeah, the old overcoat, Claude.
We had a good,
be safe, be alert.
I got a good session in the pub last night, but it took half an hour before we got a first drink in because of all that carry on.
Yeah.
Could be worse, Claude. Over here, there's a lot of pubs that haven't been able to open since March. Some of them are. If you serve food, you can open, but a lot of the pubs, and what really hurts is the country pubs in Ireland, the pubs that are out of the way. The pubs that probably only have 10 or 15 people in them anyway. Normally, it's a really tough situation. And look, there's so many people have lost their businesses, lost their jobs, struggling, living hand to mouth right now. And just all we can do as a human race right now is try and look for any positive we can, have a bit of fun when we come on and do these streams, because people have enough serious shit in their life. When they come on, they tune into shows like this or our show. They want to have a fun. They want to escape for a while. And I think that's I love that. That's one of the things I love about what we do. We give people that little bit of escape time, and ourselves, of course, that bit of escapism as well. And I get to talk about Thiago a lot these days, which is great.
Craig, you know what, right? Just jumping on the back of what you just said there, we've had so many comments. And this is I'm not, you know, this is true, and or not. So many comments, either in here in the chat room or whether it be on Insta, Twitter, or whatever, from obviously people who watch, you know, from viewers who have openly come out and said, you know, we've been in lockdown. It's been a tough time. I don't know how I would have coped if it wasn't for your channel watching. And I've been in your chat room, Craig. After, you know, you get a lot of those comments as well. And, you know, it's something that when we discuss it, us boys here, it's so flattering because on the one hand, you look at it thinking, nah, it can't just been us. You can't like it that much but when obviously, you know, there's a certain couple of guys, I won't mention because it's not fair, but I've spoken to them. They've said, no, hand on heart, I'm being genuine. It's a tough time, you know, whether it's a house or I live in a flat, you know, I'm you know, there's a lot of us and obviously it's all cooped up. My only escapism is watching you guys or Craig or whoever, because, you know, you have a bit of banter. I laugh along with it. I find it funny. I like to know about the Arsenal. I like to know about what's going on in football. And all of that information and knowledge I get is from watching your channel. And for me, that is such a, you know, it's not even an ego thing. I just think it's such a massive compliment. The fact that you're actually, without knowing, you're helping people.
I'll even go a step further. I mean, I think you've been on Twitter and social media. You get a lot of people that get this whole, look at these idiots sitting at home on their sofa. Why do people tune in? My answer to that is very simple. What we do, people wouldn't understand, I suppose, not the sense of responsibility, but I take what we do very seriously. I understand the social aspect of what we do. I understand that there's kids watching. I understand that there are people who may not have human interaction throughout the day who for that 60 or 70 minutes come in to unwind and have a little bit of fun. And it's vitally important. And I tell you what, we spoke about what we've done. People have seen what I've done. I did a goodbye video. I broke down. I was in a very, very bad place. And without the amazing support of the community that I had on YouTube and the messages that I received, I wouldn't be here to be able to do what I do. So there are no words I can describe for how fortunate I feel to be where I am. And our subscribers have got me, along with my loving family. My wife's amazing to the point I am. And if people thank me, I always say, look, what you've done for me, I can't repay. So it is a community thing. It is important. And those that hate, I think it's just coming from a position of ignorance. I don't think they understand what's going on. I think they just see lads sitting there and think we're all in here trying to rob people of money, become millionaires. It isn't about that. It isn't about that at all. The money's only a very, very...
Oh.
What's happened?
You there, Craig? Oh, just while we're waiting for Craig to come back, we've just got a super chat here. The realist has said, Terry Part of Juice gets Claude through anything. Thank you very much for that, realist. Can you hear us, Craig? Sorry, mate, we lost you for a second.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm all good.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, no, I think we got Craig at the bit where the money's not everything, and I think you went a bit your signal, Craig.
But, the money doesn't mean anything. It's about you do this, and people don't see the back end work that goes into the shows and stuff, to the research, the getting set up every day and stuff like that. You do it because you love the people that come in and you get to know them and you get to chat with people from around the world. It's brilliant for me. It's basically my social life. I'm not going to lie. I love what we do. Very privileged to do it as well.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Craig.
Us doing this has got us through lockdown as well, boys, isn't it? Because
exactly.
You know, it's not just the guys in the chat; it's us.
I hope your screen freezes like that. I hope your team, your back four freezes like your screen did there.
I was just about to say, before we finish, I thought we was going to get through a whole stream, boys, without my bathroom being mentioned, but Anthony's thrown it in.
God help us, say Claude. God help us.
No, you're absolutely right, Craig. And for a lot of people,
prep work today.
for a lot of people, you know, it's what do you call it? It's what's the words I'm looking for? It's like a lease of life. It's like a lease of life, you know, like you. like you said, you know what I mean? There's people that probably don't have a social life, that don't speak to anyone, that watches these programs, and it's a lease of life for them, and they can come out of their shell and, you know, not just sit there. And I mean, you two at the bottom, I mean, you know more than any of us that have suffered a little bit of mental health and got through it. Thank God, you're both well and everything. But I mean, how good is it to talk?
Talking helps, man. Talking's the first step. If you do nothing else, talk to somebody, your doctor, a friend, whoever it might be. It's the first step. And don't be afraid. You know, we're all fucked up in our own unique way. We all go through different struggles. We're dealing with a situation now that nobody could have foreseen. People are feeling things that I have a 16-year-old daughter who's confused as hell right now, doesn't understand how she should be feeling. And there is no right and wrong way to feel. I mean, I've got medication in the last 3 months that has changed my life. I am seeing things in a different way. I'm full of positivity, and I've been low, and I've been around people that have been low. But what I'll say is, and I'm sure Claude will back me up on this, just talk. Talking. If we do nothing else, just talk to somebody.
Yeah. Even if you talk rubbish like me for an hour on a podcast.
Exactly. Seamus, I couldn't agree more, mate. Exactly.
The progress there is on what is the progress on your bathroom, Terry? By the way, is it?
The progress is that I can actually pitch and shit in the own toilet again now.
He's just a cheap bastard. Let's be honest with it. I got my bathroom done in and out 4 days. The lads were in. Get the professionals in, you scabby fucker. Come on.
You know what? So true. I've never done a bathroom before. I've done everywhere else in the house, but I've never done a bathroom.
Claude cracking up.
I'll be fucking doing it again, that's for sure.
You've never done it before. Yeah, it was so.
I'll tell you what, you're a better man than me, though, Terry, because there's not a chance. My tap's dripping, I'm sticking a bucket under it. There's not a hope I'm touching anything.
You know what? You're exactly right. I've never ever done plumbing whatsoever. And when I watched it on TV or watched someone do it, it looked fucking easy. Do you know what I mean? You just do this.
It looked easy when my missus was doing it, to be fair.
How many cups of tea, Terry? How many cups of tea? 20 cups?
I have 1 cup of tea a day, and that's it. I'm not a big tea or coffee drinker, to be honest. Well,
you weren't sending the missus out for cups of teas while you were doing it, then?
No. Just normal drink.
Darling.
Normally, I would have said get me the cloudy apple, because that's what I'm on at the moment. Strombo. If anyone ain't tried it, absolutely amazing stuff. Beautiful. Realist AC, he's put, Craig, big up to you, brother. I went through dark times and I turned to Diesel and Terry. I am hoping you continue as a channel, Craig. Much love to you, Free.
Thank you very much. Yeah, if I can give our own channel a little plug, we're getting close to 50k, which I never ever thought would happen. So thank you to everyone that watches. It means a lot.
Strength for your channel, absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant
result. Yeah.
Couldn't do it without Connor. I mean, Connor doesn't get the respect from a lot of people that he deserves. I mean, I have the easy job. Connor does all the hard, dirty, ugly work that lets the channel do what it does. So, you know, without him, it's a teamwork. And then the supporters, and you guys have mentioned it. We've been very lucky that we've got a pretty warm, welcoming group of subscribers in our chat that, you know, show the love to each other and to other people. And it always makes me smile. Even if I start in a bad mood, when I come off, just the love and support people show each other, it just restores my faith in humanity and makes me smile.
Yeah, you've got a great chat room. I mean, Terry and I especially, we're always welcome to whenever we appear in Craig's chat room, you know. Always hello. Liz Golden, if you're watching, Liz, always friendly to me whenever I'm in, Craig's chat. So hope you're well, darling. Respect to you.
It's not even that, Diesel. It's
Seamus Delroy.
Craig. All your what do they call it? What do you call them?
Subs.
No, the not administrator. What
mods.
The mods. As soon as you go in there, the mods are straight on it, welcoming you straight away, and I absolutely love that. Same as in ours, to be honest, they do that and all. As soon as someone becomes a member or anything like that, they always welcome everyone and say hello to them, and you know what I mean, just welcome them into the group. And that's, you can't ask for no more than that, Craig.
No,
that's brilliant. Yeah, it's class.
Craig's had a lot of love in here tonight in our chat room. He's had a lot of love. It's respectful.
Diego with a super chat here. He's put Liverpool have an amazing in-depth squad. Arsenal lately seem to have up their game up against the top three sides. Can Arteta beat Mr. Klopp 3 times in a row? I'm sticking to Liverpool 0, Arsenal 2 tomorrow. Listen,
Diego.
I love you, mate. I love it. Be positive. We've got Pat with another one. How you doing, Pat? Hope you're well. Not seen you in the chat before. Have you, Diesel?
Pat's a regular at Anfield agenda and one of the nicest guys you'll ever ask to meet. An absolute gent.
Pat, thank you for coming over and giving us a watch tonight. Massive respect to Craig and Claude, guys. That talk straight from the art. Much love to you both.
Thank you very much. He's not related to me.
Thank you.
I don't think so, but he just he's just a lovely fella, Pat. We're just lucky to have people like Pat and Liz and people that pop in and out like that, and you guys will have the same. I mean, there's such a community aspect to what we do. It's brilliant. I love it.
Fix your bathroom.
About 3 months. Really says, big up to you as well, Claude. AC, you know now. You want to say it? We know that. See?
AC, you know. Go on, Claude.
AC, you know.
He's getting there.
We're going for an hour and 40 minutes now, so we're going to wrap it up. Craig, I just want to say a big thank you for coming on again. We absolutely appreciate you, Connor. I just want to say you're right about Connor and all, because obviously he doesn't get the things that he's supposed to. A lot of people don't realise how much work goes on behind the scenes, and obviously, you know, Connor works really, really hard. I know he does, and your channel is obviously going strength to strength because of your hard work and Connor's hard work. And good luck to you, and really appreciate you coming on, Craig.
It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to chat with you, fine gents. And look, I get to look at Diesel. What more could I ask for?
Well, exactly, mate. We get to look
Trust
at him.
me, mate. The feeling's mutual.
Every night.
Ditto, Craig. Ditto. Bless.
Any last words, Diesel?
No, listen. It's been as per usual. I'm proud of the fact that we've obviously, we've got. Well, we always said it, and we wanted to obviously make it more of a community channel, a family channel, and to be honest, guys, that's what we've got. I love the fact that Craig's been on tonight. I love the fact that obviously he's been very respectful in the chat. Craig's had a lot of love. I love that. I absolutely love that. And we moan about whether it be Twitter or YouTube or Instagram or whatever, but we got to take into account, the good things, the benefits of these platforms as well. We're very quick to slag them off, but there's also good things that come out of it. We met Craig through this. He's turned out to be a very good friend of ours, and so I will never write it off completely because there are a lot of really good benefits to it. We've met some really good people through this. So yeah, just a thank you to Craig as per usual for coming on. Craig, always welcome on here, and I mean that always. I love having you on here. I know the boys do, and the guys in the chat do. And then, most importantly, thank you to the people in the chat room for watching and giving up your time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you so much, Craig, for coming on, my friend. Thank you so much. I do apologise to everyone tonight if you saw me eating, but unfortunately, Uber Eats took an hour and a half to get my order here, and when it did arrive, it came on a push bike. Can you believe it? So, I did give them.
Bless him.
and they had stabilizers on them as well. And at the end of the day, right, I've given them a 0 rating apparently, so I've given them a 0 rating. I told them what I thought of them as well. But thank you anyway. Thank you, Craig. As I said, thanks, Craig. And I won't wish you well on the results. I'm very. We need to get a challenge going this year. We need to get back into that top 4, and we have to start taking on the likes of your team and Man City and all that, and getting results away from home. Craig, I hope Connor's. You said Connor's not been very well. I hope he gets better soon, as well. Send my love as well. and hopefully see you back here soon again. But I
definitely will.
I do apologise for my behaviour tonight, by the way. I do apologise.
What behaviour?
Well, eating in front of you all like that, it's not very good.
Yeah, it's not right, Claude. Obviously, we're all jealous here. We're all sitting and starving.
Especially when I've got mine in the microwave.
I've not eaten all day long, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know,
I'm going to say, Craig. I'm sorry, Diesel, go on, mate.
No, so after your exploits last night, Claude, I think you need to eat, mate, and get back up to full strength, if you know what I'm saying.
Drinking session, nothing else happened, don't worry.
Yeah, of course not, Claude. We'll talk after the stream, yeah? Yeah, mate.
I can assure you, them days are over for me, mate. You know that.
You jammy sod.
What I'm going to say off, Craig, is that all the best for Monday and Thursday night. Obviously, I do hope you lose, but, you know, that's just a personal opinion. But no, all the best. May the best team win, and hopefully sometime next week we can get you back on for the after thoughts of both games, mate.
Yeah, no worries. You know, had to contact me. Happy to come on and have a chat. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting week, isn't it? 2 games, and as you said, we can't wish each other luck, but you know, there's always respect there. That's the most important thing.
Exactly.
I've always had a lot. You know me. I've always had a lot of respect for Liverpool since the it goes back even in the 70s. I mean, it's a great football institution, isn't it? And you always know Liverpool fans, when it comes to knowing about the game, they know the game inside out. Liverpool fans do, and always got time.
Excellent. Right, so there's only one thing left to do, Claudiola.
Sorry?
There's only one thing left to do.
I just want to wish everyone enjoy the rest of the weekend, everyone. Thank you for coming in the chat today, and thank you for taking your time to listen to 4 fantastic people. What more can I say than that?
Well, it looks like we're going to wrap it up now, Claude, because it seems you're wanted, mate. I can hear a little someone calling you in the background. So, yeah.
My next door to go at it again, I'm afraid.
Go on, mate. Go and get your little cardio. Go on.
I wouldn't mind, but my TV's broken down now, so.
Yeah. Right, thanks a lot, everyone.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
And we'll see you either tomorrow or Monday night. See you soon. Stay safe.
All the best.